Live from the Valley, it's your host, former Miss USA, Nia Sanchez.
Hey, baby. Okay, welcome to the Hold My Crown podcast, where we dive into life, pageants, reality TV, parenting, and so much more. Join us for special guests from your favorite reality shows and some of my very good friends, other beauty queens. This is Hold My Crown.
Hold my crown.
Hello. Welcome back to the Hold My Crown podcast. You are in for a treat. Today's episode is with Miss World America, Shree, and she is incredible. If you need any inspiration in life to literally do anything, this is the episode for you. If you are a pageant contestant and you need any inspo for competing, this is the episode for you. So pageant related or not, you will walk away with so much inspiration. So I'm going to do a little bit of an intro into who Shree is and why she's so incredible, and then we will get right into the episode. Shree Saini is Miss World America 2022 to 2023 and Miss World 22 to 2023 first runner-up, competing with 143 national winners over a 30-day long competition. She was first runner-up out of 143 competitors. That is amazing. Miss World is the first and biggest international pageant that donated over $1.3 billion to charities. During undergrad, Shree studied political science at Harvard University and studied social entrepreneurship at Stanford. Shree graduated from the University of Washington, Seattle in journalism. For master's, Shree completed MFA course at Yale University. Only 18 students are accepted out of thousands of applications. Shree is absolutely incredible, and I am so excited for you to get to know her a little bit more today. Welcome, Shree Saini, Miss World America. How are you doing today?
I am doing so good, so grateful to be here, and I'm so proud of Nia. I just want to start this podcast by talking about how much I admire you.
Thank you.
After your reign as Miss USA, it's almost been a decade, but you continue to be one of the most impactful, sincere Miss USAs and any contestant from Miss Universe I've ever met. So thank you for continuing to bring so many guests on your podcast. I know it takes a lot of work to make a podcast studio available, edit the content. You have a fabulous team. All this equipment is amazing. So I love that you continue to pour into this community. So many people look up to you and watch this podcast. I'm really happy to be here, and I love your social media. You're so engaging, and so it's just so calming to watch you. Just know that whenever there's a pageant, Nia is going to be there.
Yeah.
So I feel really honored to be here, and I'm proud of the legacy that you hold.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I love everything about you, and I'm excited to get into it. I feel like we have so much to talk about today.
Yes.
You were just a judge for Miss Teen USA.
Yes, I was. I have my judge's binder right here.
I know. I love that you have your judge's binder because we can kind of talk about behind the scenes, which I feel like contestants, whether they're teens or Miss, no matter what organization they're in, would love to hear the behind the scenes from an actual judge. So that's exciting. We can talk about the differences between the USA organization and the World organization, all the work that you're doing with the World organization, and just all of who you are in your competition, being first runner-up at Miss World.
Thank you. First runner-up at Miss Universe.
We got two first runner-ups here today, ladies and gentlemen. So there's so much to start, where do we start? But let's start with what was most recent, Miss Teen USA, being a judge. You have your judge's binder here. Can you give us the insight into where your head was at and how you chose the girls that would move forward?
Yes, so I started my preparation as a judge weeks in advance. I started using another fake Instagram account, following all the Miss Teen USA contestants, seeing what are they posting, how they're engaging, how are they already using their state title to be an advocate for a good cause, to promote positive messages. I started taking notes on that too, because a big part of being a title holder is using your social media. That's how majority of the people are going to connect with you if they don't see you in person. So that's why I really admire Nia, because she continues to use her social media to be of positive use. And she's so consistent at it, and it takes effort and it takes time. So I wanted to see a girl who's first putting on the effort. But then when we transitioned into interview, I actually showed Nia my 2 pages of interview questions that I had printed out. So I can kind of go through them. I had like 6 different sections. My first section was about the service project, like describe us about your service project. One of my favorite questions I asked in interview was, can you quantify what you have done in your state and what your plan of action is as a national title holder?
Yeah.
Because that gives me a clear picture of where she's coming from and where she hopes to go.
Yeah.
Because if we truly want to use like pageant titles for, positive use, I want to see what they've already done.
Yes, absolutely. You're not just going to show up and be like, I want to do this. That's what I tell my clients. I'm like, you need to be already actively doing something, but also have a clear plan. And I have all them write out a short-term and a long-term plan. Like, when you win, what will you do right away? And then what do you want your legacy to be? What lasting impact? So it's like, I love that you asked that. Like, these girls better be prepared.
Everyone check out Nia Coaching.
Seriously.
So that was really important. And please, when I say quantify, give me actual numbers. Like for me, my platform was heart health. So I gave the numbers. Heart disease is the #1 killer. 1 in 3 people die from heart disease.
Wow.
As a heart patient myself, I know how scary it could be to deal with this. And I wanted to promote messages of resilience. And 60% of deaths from heart disease are preventative.
Wow.
So I explained how I would utilize my Miss World America and hopeful Miss World title when I was competing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the girls were kind of vague in their answer. And they said, well, I've been to high schools or I've volunteered here. But tell me how many times you have done it.
Right. How many students you've impacted. Like,
yes.
Give us the info.
Yeah. Give me the numbers. I love the numbers.
Me too.
Because it shows me how much outreach you have done. And then I had a section for Miss Teen USA, like why you, what are the unique qualities? So just be prepared with whatever answer you hope to share with the judges. One of my favorite questions also is there something you want to share with us? So open-ended. And then I just
That's good. I love that question because it's like, I think you're amazing. Like, now tell me how amazing you are. Because if they are prepared, they can just lay it all out there. This is who I am and why I should win. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nia. And then educational questions, because they're in high school. So I want to know, how would you help high schoolers? Like, what is one message you want to share with your high schoolers? I do want to say 5 girls said, be yourself. And I think that's a good message to have, but elaborate that. That means like elaborate on being bold, being confident, be unique. Don't be vague. Like, have some quotes that you already want to share with the judges. Like for me, I said a quote was, if you have a heartbeat, you have a purpose. Just to remind people that whatever hardships they're going through, as long as they have a heartbeat, they need to find their purpose and focus on cultivating their purpose. And then family questions, who inspires you? What do you think about social media? United States questions. And then I actually printed these out for all the other judges so they were able to use it.
Because some judges don't know what they're doing and some do. And it's, good to have a mix because you will have a little bit more of a less pageanty point of view for the judges that don't know. But I think it's important to have both. So I love that you were like, here, you can use this. I have a question for you. When you ask the question, who inspires you? When someone says my mom, how do you feel about that answer?
It could be a great answer, but you have to back up that answer. Like for me, when I talk about my mom, I would talk about her endurance during challenges. I would tell exactly what challenges. I would talk about her kindness, how she's like an amazing friend. Like whenever one of her friends is in trouble, she's a friend who is the first one to lean in, spend hours on the phone, encouraging her friend. And that is the type of friend I want to be. And that's what I would want to, encourage people during my reign as Miss Teen USA. So
exactly.
So just please go into details. Please don't shy away from going into details and painting a picture and story of why, and I also was a judge that tried to really make eye contact with the contestants because some of them did come in and they were nervous. So I wanted to be not down here, but up there looking at them, encouraging them, making them feel seen and relaxed and how I'm rooting for them. So I continued to smile throughout the entire interview.
I saw that Instagram clip that someone posted. It was did you post it or someone else posted it?
I think somebody else
and you reposted.
took clips of it because I was so focused on the contestants. So I didn't know that they even had like
a camera on the judges
on us.
Yeah.
But I was just focused on the contestants. And then I think when I opened my social media afterwards, I saw, there's this judge at Miss Teen USA smiling all the time. Yep. So I think that's really important too.
Yeah.
See how they make you feel.
Yes, totally. And I've been a judge as well, not for Teen USA, but as a judge, I remember competing and you get these judges that give you like cold stares and you're like, do they like me? I don't know. So I try to be the same as you. It's like, I want to make the contestant feel good because everybody's giving their best. I'm always doing the same. I'm always smiling. And I feel like, but the thing is, usually depending on directors, like if they give any advice before judging, they'll say like, either you clap for every contestant or you don't clap at all, because if you're clapping for the ones that are your favorites, like people are going to read that. Right. Same for smiling. If you smile for one, you have to smile for all of them.
All
or
51.
None. Exactly. Because if not, then it's going to be like, oh, that judge gave me a dirty look, but that she smiled for the next girl, so she must like her. Like you don't want to get in the girl's head. So I love that you're like, I'm smiling for everybody.
Yes.
That's so good. Yeah. Let's transition a little bit.
What are your favorite pageant questions?
Ooh, okay. I could get into this. I love pageant questions. So if someone has something unique or different on their bio, especially if it's something that's like physical, I ask it and I want to see it. So like I've judged a national pageant where she said she was in Taekwondo. I'm like, cool, I'm in Taekwondo. Show me your form. And like, I didn't need her to show me her whole form, but she showed me like the first 5 or 6 moves in her heels with her Spanx on and everything. And I'm like, yes, go girl. You're not like afraid. I've asked other girls at a different national, or no, it was a state pageant to, she said she's a dancer. I was like, what's your favorite dance move? Can you show me? I am that judge. It's like, let's break up the energy instead of they're like, oh, I'm so nervous. And just like, I almost want to help them relax a little bit. And I hope it doesn't throw them off. But the girls that are ready to win are the girls that just go for it. Like the girl that I asked that question to at a national pageant or state pageant in Texas, she was like, ooh, I love a good shimmy and a pas de bourrée. And I was like, yes, own it. Like, and she just had fun with it. And she wasn't trying to do like a pirouette in her heels, but she had fun with it. Good. I always ask girls to sing. If they say they're a singer, I'm like, sing a little something for me. But one of my favorite questions is similar to yours. It's like, especially if I think a girl is strong, I'm like, what do you want me to know about you before you leave this room? So it's like, I think you're amazing. Lay it all out there. Tell me everything. And I just leave it really open-ended. And it's fun to throw random weird questions in there. Like, if I were to give you a box, what would be in it? Just like weird. I'm like, how creative is your brain? Can you like quickly adjust and like think of something that also tells a story so I get to know you at the same time instead of saying like lip gloss? It's like, you know, if it was me, it'd be like, oh, my 5th degree black belt, because I've worked really hard to get to my 4th degree, but I haven't gotten my 5th degree yet. And I would love to receive that achievement that, you know, and then you're telling a story about yourself. So yeah, I love to ask random questions and ones that are like really specific to them.
I love that. And Michigan, even last night, she laid it all out.
Ooh, yes.
And she answered the Miss USA final question. She had everything prepared from professional life to where she was, you know, educated at, and
her background,
her message.
Yeah, no, she was wonderful. I'm really excited to see how she is as a Miss USA, because she seems incredible just from the little bit we learned about her. So I can't wait to see. I'm like, what is she doing today? If you are just listening, we are recording the day after Miss USA. So we're still very like on a pageant high. If you haven't noticed, it's winter. The days are getting shorter, it's cold, and now more than ever, I'm in need of a little treat. That's why I joined First Leaf, a wine club that delivers my favorite types of wine straight to my door. Because there's really no better treat than a delicious glass of red wine. One of my favorite things about First Leaf is that they get to know your specific wine preferences, whether you like red, white, sweet, or dry, any of those things. So in every shipment, you get to unbox a new selection of bottles that you are guaranteed to love. So to get started, all you have to do is answer a few quick questions about what you like to drink. Something I love about my First Leaf subscription is how easy it is to control my delivery schedule. We're going to be out of town for the holidays, so I get to choose when my wine ships, so I always have bottles on hand for hosting friends, and then I don't get a delivery if I'm going to be out of town. It's perfect. So far, I have received a variety of wines that I've now fallen in love with. I generally like whites and Chardonnays, and that's when I first got my subscription. But now that we're moving into the colder months, I'm getting more reds. And I'm just falling in love with all of the options. And then I also have great options to share with my friends when I go to different gatherings. Plus, if I get a bottle that I don't absolutely love, it is not a problem because First Leaf has a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So go ahead and treat yourself with wines from First Leaf. Go to tryfirstleaf.com/holdmycrown to sign up, and you'll get your first 6 hand-picked bottles for just $44.95. That's incredible. That's tryfirstleaf.com/holdmycrown. Tryfirstleaf.com/holdmycrown. Let's talk about the difference between Miss USA and Miss World America.
Okay.
You are Miss World America. You've been around the Miss USA organization.
Yes.
Forever. Like, it's just part of, like, you're very incorporated with, like, the whole organization as well. So what would you say are the biggest differences between the organizations?
So we have Miss USA here and then Miss World America.
Yes.
And we both represented the United States
Yes.
at 2 big international pageants,
Yes.
Miss Universe, Miss World.
First runner-up.
No, I'm really grateful for Carolina who won, and she did a fabulous job during her reign. So I think at Miss Universe, there is evening gown, on-stage question, interview, and swimsuit. At Miss World, instead of a swimsuit, we have a fitness round. In fitness, we do the highest number of burpees, sit-ups.
No way.
Push-ups.
Actually?
Actually. So for Miss World
I
America.
didn't know that.
Yes, there's 5 sets of workouts.
Wow.
So whoever gets the highest rep wins the Miss World America fitness, and that allows her to have a spot in top 20 finalist.
Wow.
And depending on what location that Miss World is happening, sometimes they have like a pool or a track. Then we'll have girls at Miss World do a beat test or swim laps.
Oh my gosh.
Just to actually test how fit they are. So
how many push-ups can you do?
I don't remember how many I did, but I think that's really powerful and motivating, and to just really inspirational for girls to work on their actual fitness, cardiovascular exercise, their strength, their speed.
Yeah.
And then for interview, our interview is about 10 minutes long, and I think interview for Miss USA.
10 minutes? I mean, I love it. I love a good interview, but I feel like for a lot of girls that would be intimidating.
Or see it as an opportunity to shine brighter.
Exactly.
To share
There's
even more.
So much to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I like that, because then you don't feel like you didn't get enough time. So I think you got enough time to elaborate on everything you wanted to share. And look at you, Nia. You're doing 45-minute interview podcast. So you can do it. You can do it.
No, totally. It's just like, for some girls, I feel like that would be a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me talk to you all day long. I have so much to talk about. But
yeah.
What did you talk about in your Miss World interview? Do you remember what kind of questions they asked you, what you said?
Ooh, we're getting
like,
in
what were your
detail.
favorite ones?
So Miss World interview is actually very open-ended. So I just went from the beginning when I was just 5 years old, and I dressed up as Miss World for Halloween. So at age 5, that seed was planted in my heart to be a Miss World, because I wanted to be of service. And I saw poverty at a very young age. So I just felt sad as I got older that we kind of normalized poverty, homelessness. It just becomes a part of our life. And I just don't want people to normalize another individual's pain. There's a quote by Nelson Mandela that says, injustice anywhere, like how can we sleep knowing that there's so much injustice in this world? It's something along those lines. And then I got emotional in my Miss World interview too, because I have gone through, heart surgery, and I have a pacemaker. I've survived facial burns. But I was also very passionate about what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So I think the judges really liked that. And I had a really tough on-stage question too. But back to the differences between Miss USA and Miss World. So the fitness round is a bit different.
Yep.
She's in swimsuit. I'm doing push-ups. And then
I love it.
And then the interview is a bit longer, 10 minutes versus 3 minutes for you. And then other than that, we have similar evening gown and then on-stage question. But then we also, in Miss World, there is a Beauty with a Purpose service video. You can just Google my name, Shree Saini, on YouTube, and you'll find that Beauty with a Purpose service video. So every contestant comes with 8 to 10 minute videos. Some of them even have 5 minutes. So of all the service work that they have done. So it's very, that video is very important for Miss World. And Miss World competition itself is 4 weeks long. So it's 30 days, and Miss Universe is about a week. And I think
it used to be 4 weeks when I competed.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I was there for like, I forget how many, it was almost 30, maybe 27 days. So it was almost 4 weeks. And then it got cut to like 3 and then 2. And now, it's like a week and a half maybe.
Yeah.
And Miss USA was less than a week.
Wow.
5 days.
Yeah.
Wild. But I mean, for Miss USA, I feel like they put on a great show for the fact that it was so short, but we had like a full week of rehearsals. We also had dances that were like coordinated with, wow. I just realized that Miss USA didn't have any musical performances this year.
Yeah.
It just clicked. I didn't even think about it because we had our dances coordinated to like Nick Jonas singing Chains and like all, we like had all these like huge performers. So that's something interesting. I hope Layla brings that in.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's so much
She's
to take
planning
over
to.
a huge organization. So it's probably like, okay, let's like get a beautiful stage, beautiful performance, national television, check. And then I'm sure there's like so many more things. But no, those are like huge differences.
And I'm just really grateful for Miss USA, Savannah and Morgan and Nia and all the other Miss USAs I've met, like Sarah, who have always been so welcoming to me and included me in their community. And thank you, Layla Rose, for inviting me. And we're all like, there's different pageant systems. Miss Universe and Miss World are the biggest at 72 years long legacy. But I'm just so grateful that they were inclusive and encouraging. And I hope that pageant systems in US and just around the world can continue to encourage each other, highlight, the good in each other instead of being hyper competitive. I just think we're so much stronger when we're together.
Absolutely.
And I want to help Layla and Miss USA as much as I can throughout the year. And I just hope that camaraderie continues for years to come.
I feel like it's also a reflection of you because that is the type of person that you are. You are so inclusive. You make everyone feel like $1 million when they are in your presence. So I love that. And now you are your parents and you are running the Miss World America. Tell me all about that because that is a huge undertaking for anybody.
Yes. So my family and I are now the national director of Miss World America. So we'll be running 50 state pageants and then DC. So it's a huge undertaking. Every day on the phone, I'm talking to like Hawaii director, Virginia directors from all across the state, just encouraging them and giving them ideas on how to build their state pageant because we are still in our building years underneath the new directorship, all new directors. So just encouraging them to not have limiting beliefs because a lot of them like doubt, like, I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm like, yes, you can. Just like write down, brainstorm all the ideas on what you can do as a director, reach out to different venues, reach out to different high school, colleges to recruit girls, and always know that as a director, you're adding value. You're giving contestants a life, like once in a lifetime opportunity to represent their state and nationals. So always walk in with confidence and knowing that you're adding value to your community and bringing your community together. And everyone loves being part of a community function like a pageant where there's mayors, there's business owners, there's makeup hairstylists, there's other people promoting their small businesses as well. So walk in with that confidence. And I know in the first few years that it's going to take a lot of phone calls. So it's okay to make a goal to do 100 phone calls in the upcoming year and be okay to not let rejection get to your heart and just keep building. Because after a year of you building your state pageant, you're going to look back and be grateful for the work that you put in. And then it automatically, a lot of people, and they see you succeed in the first year, they want to join you the next year. So motivating state directors, also motivating state contestants to please continue serving. As Miss World Washington, before I even went to Miss World America, I did 302 service projects.
Wow.
But I also had 2 years. It was 2 years of COVID. So please continue doing service projects. Create a goal to volunteer 150 times in 1 year or 200 times. Like you can do it if you make yourself hyper aware of your schedule. You make at least 2 or 3 goals a week to go out in your community 2-3 times a week and with your sash and crown and make appearances. Don't just wait for people to contact you. You reach out, your local chamber of commerce, your local mayor, your governor. I continue to reach out to so many people years and years ago, and then I had all of them come to my Miss World first runner-up homecoming, and they talked about how that really made me stand out, that I was okay to say, hi, my name is Shree. I want to represent you at Washington at Miss World America, and I would love to volunteer with you. So don't be hesitate to reach out and quantify your goals that you have throughout the year.
Yeah. And something that I love that you said when you're talking with your state directors, and even you were just really encouraging to the state directors and the girls. And there was something that you said that you shared. You mentioned that you give yourself small, tangible goals. Yes. And then I want you to elaborate a little bit more on that. What does that look like in your life, and how does it help you achieve the big goals? Because it's those little ones that add up to your bigger goals. So what does that look like for you?
I think every single day I try to write down what are my goals for the day. Okay. And I look back at my planner for the week, and I look at, did I utilize my time? And I think we're all kind of addicted to our cell phones too, and we're in overconsumption. Yeah. And I want to just inspire people to create more and not shy away to just open your Instagram and tell us how your rain is going. What have you learned? How do you want to influence your community? So just goals for every aspect of your life, staying consistent in fitness, in mental health, in your relationship building, and then how you want to serve. And then that particular instance, like the small tangible goal that I mentioned earlier before this podcast, came when I was overcoming a really massive heart surgery for my pacemaker. So my left arm was in a cast for many months, so I was really weak on the left side of my body. So I gave myself goals to just raise my arm a little by little every single day to regain my physical strength back. And then when I was a burn survivor and my entire face had burned from a car accident, and I couldn't even recognize myself in the mirror, I gave myself goals to only be solution oriented, focus on the blessing that I have of shelter, food, water. I still had my mind, my heart. I still had so much more life to give. So I didn't want to sit there feeling like a victim. I never want to have a victim mentality. I always want to rise up from my challenges as quickly as possible with a lot of resilience, grit, positivity. So I remember when my face was like unrecognizable, I took a bucket of ice cubes and then a bucket of ice cold water, and I would just wash my face every few hours and take the ice cubes and washcloth and have to kind of twist the washcloths in my face just to help scrape away the skin that was really damaged and keep it very cleansed. And I, even when this happened between college, when I was in a car accident that led to the burn, so I had to email my professors and just mention to them how I'm dealing with this and how I'm going to be sitting, closer to the exit of the lecture hall, and how I would have to excuse myself between classes. And then it was burned so much that I even had to get like an extra long sun hat and a face mask just to make sure my skin was protected while I was going from class to class, because I had the choice to either stay home for a year, not graduate with my class, feel bad for myself, or had the choice to be like, no, I fully accept that I'm going through this. First step is full acceptance. Second step is staying solution oriented. Third step is just staying consistent in whatever you're dealing with, growing, one solution at a time, and just focusing on how you can rise up from this challenge. So
stop it. You're going to make me cry. I just am so inspired by you. Because you've had so much that you've experienced, and for so many people that can just break them, or you can choose to let it be something that makes you stronger. And I love that you gave steps, like, this is what I did. And I feel like that's why you're filled with so much joy. And you can see the joy. It radiates from the inside out. When you walk into a room, you are a light. Even if someone does or doesn't know who you are, you're just a light. And I feel like that's because of the way you choose to step into life. Like, you step into life with positivity and intention. all of it. Like, and even just the way that you achieve your goals, one little thing after the other. You write things down. You don't just, I'm sure you add it to notes in your phone too, but writing things down physically and having those goals and checking back in on them. That's how you are so successful. And I hope that anybody listening can also really take so much from that. It's like, these are very practical things that they can do, because it's easy to tell someone like, just be focused and be driven. You can do it, but you're sharing steps. So I feel like this is something that someone can learn so much from. And I appreciate you being here and telling us all about it. What are your favorite like service, like ways that you've given back, your service projects? Because you've done so many. Give me like one or two of your absolute favorite ways to make an impact in the community.
I love speaking at high schools. I've had the opportunity to go to 34 states in the U.S.
Wow.
to be a speaker.
I don't know if I've even been to that many states.
But so being a speaker, I think you just give people the gift of encouragement, the gift of hope, the gift of self-belief. And I honestly, my mom always says a gift of confidence is one of the greatest gifts that you can give to another individual. So I think those are one of my most beautiful ways that I want to give back, by just giving them a possibility mindset, a solution-oriented mindset. But I also love raising funds. I've had the privilege to raise over $300,000 for hundreds of different charities. And even before I went to Miss World, I made an Excel sheet of all the service projects I had done.
I love it.
Starting 2005 when I was still in elementary school. Because I think you hear these numbers, but sometimes they don't seem as believable because they're, so I wanted to show them the service work I had done for over a decade. Each certificate, I have a Beauty with a Purpose service room in my house with over 800 thank you cards, certificates from different NGOs. So I think I love fundraising and I love speaking and I love tracking all of it too, so people can see how those small little steps that you take in your community every week does add up, and every loving action that you do matters.
I'm getting like the feeling like you lead from the front. Not only like how you were as a title holder, leading up to being a title holder, going into Miss World America, but now being the director of Miss World America, you lead from the front. You're already doing it. You're setting the example. So it's not like, what do I do? It's like, all I have to do is look at the director, and she's already done it, and she continues to do that. And I love it. So if you had someone, multiple thoughts. Okay. If you had someone that wanted to compete for Miss World America, you've already kind of said like, really make sure you focus on your service, but like, what are the ways to sign up if someone's listening to this and like, oh my gosh, I want to join the organization that she's in charge of. I want to be in association with her. Like, what are the steps to sign up, and like, what are the top 3 things they should focus on when preparing?
So go to missworldamerica.org, and it's just a 5-minute application on who you are and where you're from and why you want to be Miss World America, just so we can have you in our database. And one of our team members will call you within a few days to talk to you, get to know you. And the 3 things: first, service. Second is be joyful on stage. Have a joyful spirit about you. Be grateful for the opportunity. We want a happiness leader. So focus on, just having a warm presence. And third, focus on interview as well, because you're going to be a speaker. You're going to, that's the number 1 job as a title holder, to be a speaker, not a model. So just like you would prepare for another pageant, prepare for Miss World America, but there is a huge emphasis on the video, on the Beauty with a Purpose video. So start thinking about how you want to write your script for your service video, because that is a huge part of the application, especially if you get to be Miss World America and represent America at Miss World.
Yeah, my goodness. I just love everything that you do, all that you've done. And I want to kind of wrap it up a little bit by learning about, like, I want everybody to know where to follow you on social media. And is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap up? So share first, and then where can they follow you?
I just want to share a message. It would be a message on resilience, kindness, and just maxing out on the love that you have in your heart. Don't hold back. Don't hesitate. Live a very full life. Continue to be your biggest cheerleader, and just intentionally create your schedule depending on whatever your dreams are. And don't hesitate. Don't feel fixated in one avenue in your life. You have the ability to have different avenues to be successful in. And my social media is just Shree Saini, Shree Saini. I have a Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to stay in touch, my email is shree@shreesani.org. And I'm so proud of you, Nia, for continuing to bring so many incredible guests to your podcast and keeping us all engaged and you're truly a glue in our community. So thank you for inspiring all of us to stay connected with each other and keeping the Miss USA name so beautiful.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being here. You are absolutely inspirational. This message, everything that you shared today is going to help so many women. I'm so excited for everybody to hear. So thank you so much. And thank you for listening to the Hold My Crown podcast. Make sure you follow and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and I will see you next week. Bye.